I need your help. See, I've been working a lot recently on my upcoming game, Snarfles. I've gotten the gameplay to a really good state. I'm super happy with it. Feedback's been pretty good so far. The game overall feels really well polished. It feels satisfying to play. It feels super unique. I'm excited about it. And it was really important for me to get that done first out of the way before going into the exact voice lines for the story, dialogue, all of the details of how I was going to get the ideas across that I want to in this game. I have a bunch of ideas that are important to me, but I saved the details until now. And so I'm working on trying to figure out the best way to tell this story, and I have kind of a proof of concept here. There's no recorded music or voice lines or anything. It's just basic dialogue that prints out on the screen and a couple of cute gameplay interactions. We'll get into it. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. And I'm hopeful that as we look into this, we can come up together with the best way on how to move forward from here. Okay, so this is a proof of concept of what could, in theory, be the first scene in the game. Dad comes in, another day of meetings. Here we go again. 2 hours just to decide where to hold next week's meeting. It's all pointless. Unreal. Mom chimes in. At least you were home before 9 this time. Oh, hey Sarah, how was school? Okay, I'm gonna pause it real quick. A couple things are going on right away. Number one, this is obviously just a cutscene. I have very mixed feelings about cutscenes in games. Why? Well, because there's no gameplay in cutscenes. They're basically just taking the tools that we have from movies and applying those storytelling techniques to a game and just kind of slapping it on top. It's like you pause the game to tell the story, and then you do the game, and then you pause the game, and then you tell the story, and they're not actually connected, and that bothers me. However, I do think that cutscenes can be really useful for setting the tone going into scenes, as long as they're not the entire story. Okay, fair enough. Let's keep going. Okay, kid says, so good. Miss Linda was the best. She lets us draw whatever we want. Look, I drew tons of bunnies today, and here's her journal. They're all happy together in the forest. And I still gotta finish the second one for tomorrow. Maybe you can help me tonight? Dad says yeah, and then gets distracted. So anyway, the boss spent half an hour arguing over fonts. Can you believe that? Now the kid's sad. Now the kid's drawing really dark things. This is what family feels like. And then we go into level 1. Okay, now we're into the game. Pause again. So this is on the right hand side of the screen. You can see the game itself. On the left side, you see the last thing that the kid drew. And essentially the idea is that the game is taking place inside the kid's journal as she's grappling with things happening in real life. Great concept. I don't like this exact way of doing it simply because number one, it's a little bit unpolished. It's got a little bit of work visually. That's fair enough, whatever. It's early still. More importantly, all of the gameplay is off center. It's all on the right side of the screen and it feels off to the side, which I don't like. However, the concept is there. We're getting somewhere. Okay, so now we are introduced to this world inside of this kid's mind. And we have a drawing on the left of bunny and then the predator chasing the bunny. And the metaphor here is that basically this is what the kid feels like. If the kid feels like she's just trying to be happy and have lots of fun and draw cute things, and her parents are not here for her. And her parents are not understanding it, and so they're represented over here. Okay, fair enough. All right, now we get to move the bunny for the first time. Move it. Okay, I don't get it. Today was going so well. So what's happening here is essentially we're going to, from here on out, switch between, in the game, we're not in a cutscene now, but the voice lines are going to happen as we play through the game. So that way the gameplay and the story are more connected. We talked earlier about some of the dangers of just relying on cutscenes. I think the game is going to have some cutscenes. It might have a lot of cutscenes in between levels, but I don't want that to be the whole story, because that's you're just throwing a story on top of the game. I want to tell the story through the gameplay. I want the gameplay to feed into the metaphors that we're going for. That's super important to me. Okay, so this bunny's moving over here. I know we're slowing this down a ton, but it's so important to understand what's going on here. And if it's not immediately clear what's going on, then we need to iterate from here. Okay, so this bunny is the kid, basically, what the kid's thinking. Today was going so well. Okay, now we learn for the first time that bunnies chase grass and eat them. And when you eat grass, you get a chance to reproduce. Okay, we get to reproduce the bunny. Okay, cool. So now the kid's world artistically is growing as the kid is drawing in their journal. They're always so busy. So the kid is playing over here, bunnies are reproducing, whatever, happy. Here's this predator over here. The bunny has to run away from the predator. We learn that gameplay mechanic, and at the same time, it's feeding into the story of the parents like not being there for. Cool. Okay. Now the predator goes and chases it and actually eats one of the bunnies. Here you learn that mechanic. Now we've seen the full food chain, which is super important. Predator reproduces. Now it feels like the kid's world is just getting stomped on, basically. The grass is maybe like a metaphor for the art the kid is creating. Parents are trampling all over it. Oh well, I guess I can still draw on my own. Now we learn about spreading grass. Kids doing their own thing in real life. Maybe tomorrow will be better. We have like some hopeful moment. We learn about how grass reproduces. It spreads out. Okay, cool. Now, pause. What's going on? This is an interesting kind of experimental thing that I wanted to try, where the game, we said the game is like taking place in the kid's journal, but we can probably do some visual things too to tie into the real world. And so you see here, the lights go dark and then light again, as if the kid went to bed and like the whole night is passing through. Okay, cool. Sometimes she said, sorry, it wasn't there for you last night. Sometimes we don't get what we want right away. And now we get the first sacrifice of the game, and this gets sacrificed to Snarfle. Introduced to Snarfles for the first time. Then you win this level, and we move on to the next level. In real life, the kid is having to make sacrifices, not getting what they want right away. Why? This seems like an innocent thing. All that she's asking for is basically to enjoy some time with her parents, and her parents are super busy at work. We have set up the story. We've introduced some of the basic premises while teaching the player how to play the game at the same time. Now, my question to you, and obviously these things are going to keep on. This is just like the first scene. But obviously Snarfles is representative of God and divine fate, and the kid is going to have to like learn like, why do we have to give up all these things? Why is God not giving me what would clearly be a better life, you know? And we get to ask these philosophical questions through this kid's eyes. We'll get those metaphors will get unpacked later on. Obviously, this is just the first scene. I just felt like I needed to say that. I don't know. But anyway, what I'm not sure on is how much of that story is clear just from watching this. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of polish in visually. We're going to add music. We're going to add more effects. We're going to come up with like ways to kind of play with your emotions a little bit more. But is this a good proof of concept? Is this a good balanced way of telling the story where we have voice lines in between each move in the game, and it kind of like feeds into the metaphors based on what's happening in the level, and so on and so on? Does this look good to you? Let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's anything that I should be doing to make it clear what's going on. Let me know if this is the right way, in your opinion, to tell this story, or if there's more work to do. Meantime, I'm gonna keep working on it. I cannot wait to see this continue to improve. I have, like I said, I've got such a good foundation for this game, and like we're at the fun part now. Most of the bugs in the game have been fixed. The code base is in a great state. The gameplay is in a great state. Now we can just tell a story with it, and I can't wait to see where this goes. Anyway, that's about it for now. See ya.